You see the truth behind the lies. You long to break free. Welcome, my digital friend. You have come to the collective channel to free your mind. Are you ready to exit the matrix?
Yeah.
You are only one frequency away from a better life. In this episode, we talk with David Wong, the Frequency King, about frequency healing using magnetic fields and sound, with hosts Joe and Christy from Our Twisted Universe and Bob from Exit the Matrix.
Hi, and welcome to our Twisted Universe. Today we're going to be talking with Bob from Exit the Matrix, and David Wong is our special guest, and he is the Frequency King. Hi, David. Hi, Bob.
Hey guys, how you doing?
You guys
So,
doing?
David, we invited you here today to tell us a little bit about your chi coil. We discovered chi coil not too long ago, and we're just absolutely fascinated to hear more about your product, what it does. How'd you get started?
Well, it was a self-healing journey. I was chronically ill for 10 years of my life. It was an incurable disease. I had a inflammation of the intestines. It's called ulcerative colitis. And every day you bleed every day. That was the problem. And you can't even go out of the house. So I suffered with pain every day, brain fog, and lack of energy and chronic fatigue. Then I discovered frequency healing technologies, and I experimented with different things. And at that time, I just wanted to research more into my meditation, like really get deeper into my meditation. I was using frequencies and devices to help me do that. And then 90 days later, I accidentally healed myself. So this disease I had for 10 years was completely gone.
That's remarkable. I mean, how did you know, like, you just felt better just one day you woke up and...
Oh, it was a gradual process. Like for example, I was just playing the right frequency for intestinal inflammation, and then I was developing this device to emit these electromagnetic waves because I thought, hey, we have PMF therapy using electromagnetic fields, and we have right frequencies. Why not combine the two and see what happens? Because actually nobody was doing that. And when I turned it on, I said, whoa, I felt something in my gut. Something's happening in my gut. Something's like massaging it. And I never felt that before. And I just kept using it every day. And then the symptoms went down and it felt better every day. And then 90 days later, I was completely healed.
That
Wow.
just with a sound frequency. I mean, I heard this was possible, but
yeah, with electromagnetic frequency, so it's completely silent. There's no sound. It comes from a device. So later on, I developed the chi coil. This is the chi coil mini, right? And then I developed, this is the chi coil 3, and then that's the chi coil aura in the background, and then some other ones here. Because I said, hey, there's so many people out there suffering like I was, and they don't have really hope because they're relying on medication, or their doctors are telling them there's no cure, or their doctors telling them you have to get surgery. Now, I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving health advice or anything like that. And these products don't heal and they don't cure. But what they do is they raise your body's resilience and its ability to heal itself, because it gives you the life force, the chi energy that you need to basically bump up your game in your body, right? Your resilience, your strength, your energy, it does all those things. So I said I needed to create something so that other people can experience this and they don't have to suffer like I did. So now 5 years later, we have 10,000 plus customers. We have thousands of reviews. We have medical professionals, clinics, surgeons, PhDs, neuroscientists using our coils.
that's incredible. I don't hear of like traditional medicine trying alternatives that often, and to break through into that, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, we're at a point where like the doctors are now also realizing that, just pills and surgery is not gonna, it's just a barbaric way of treating problems. And once they start using frequency therapy, they're just like, it's a no-brainer, right? It's non-invasive. right? You don't have to do refills. You can use it at home, and it's completely silent, and you just put it in front of you, and you don't even have to touch it. And you use frequencies to stimulate the brain, use the frequencies to stimulate your nervous system and your cells. And there's so much scientific research behind it now that conventional doctors are saying, we better take a really close look at this and take this seriously. And once they start using it with their clients, they get results, and they say, hey, why are we still giving people medication when you can just use a frequency? Why are still cutting people open when we can just use a frequency? Right? It's just no brainer.
That's crazy. What kind of therapies have you discovered with the chi coil?
Well, the top 4 or 5 things that people use the chi coils for is for energy boost. So if people are lacking energy, they feel chronic fatigue, gives them a lot of energy. Okay, we have people just use it for a few days and they're like cleaning the house all day long without getting tired, and then just reorganizing everything, scrubbing the deck, and say, holy cow, I've got all this energy, now I got to spend it. Then it helps with sleep. So anybody with sleep issues, this will like very successfully get you to sleep a lot better. And you'll sleep like a baby. You'll sleep like you never had for the last decade or 2 decades. Third thing is pain management. So it helps with managing any kind of pain. So people who have knee pain, back pain, ankle pain, wrist pain, migraines, whatever kind of pain. What it does is it relaxes the body, relaxes your nerves, so you are better cope with any kind of discomfort in your body. And then the fourth thing is it helps with meditation. So people who don't have time to meditate, just turn on the coil and it meditates for you, because it brings your brain waves down or up, depending on the frequency that you use, into those mind states that you want to be when you're meditating. So it's like the automatic or the meditation shortcut. Or if you're actively meditating, it can take your consciousness to even a higher level or get you into those deep mind states faster, the altered states much faster and more powerfully. What did I say? Energy, sleep. Last thing is so energy, sleep, pain management, meditation, and anxiety and stress. So I just heard from someone that like millennials, like 1 out of 3 millennials are some kind of antidepressant or some kind of sleep drug or some kind of something for the anxiety, and they're reliant on these medication, and it's not good for them on the long term, obviously, right? And then they have side effects, and basically they become numb. Their emotions become numb, and they become different people because they're taking all these drugs. With our coils, you just turn it on, and people are getting off those medication. They don't need it anymore because their sleep improves so much more. They have no more anxiety. Like you literally turn it on, you can feel your emotions change and improve, and your mood improve over minutes just by turning something on. Because we affect brainwaves directly. We have the frequencies for them. Even so our technology can work in 2 ways that we can measure. For example, it works with the sound therapy, and then it also works with the magnetic therapy. So I'm going to show you. Like for example, I'm going to play this frequency right now. Okay, and what I'm doing here is I've got a tablet with over 10,000 frequencies. We have about 1,500 proprietary frequencies, as well as 10,000 bright frequencies on here. So this is one of my favorite ones. It's called Remove Negative Energy. So what I do is I go from the tablet, I connect to a speaker. So this is sound therapy. And then also connect it at the same time to a coil. Okay. So while the coil is playing, this coil is silent. There's nothing coming out of the coil. But if you use one of these EMF meters.
Oh yeah.
So you can see that there is a active magnetic field coming out from this coil. So you get 2 therapies at the same time. You got the sound therapy, which works by itself, and you combine it with the magnetic field therapy, which goes through your skin, go through your clothes, even go through walls, and deep into your cells, and even down into your DNA. So we're probably one of the only people that are doing that in the world, that combines those 2 therapies with one system, right? And then we also have crystals inside. So inside of these, we have fixed some crystals. You can't see them because the wires are covering them. But if you look very closely, there's this orange thing inside, right? So what that is a crystal. This is a citrine crystal. And as you know, crystals can hold memory. So even while they're playing, these crystals are resonating and they're getting charged up with that frequency, that programming.
Okay.
So even if you turn it off, they will still resonate for a day or so. So that's another added feature in there. That's pretty cool.
Oh, so you can kind of coast on it afterward.
Yeah. So then you can unplug it. You can bring it with you. It's got resonance for a day or so from the crystal, from the memory in the crystal. So there's so many uses for it. People ask like, where do you put it? You can put it on your chakras. You can put it on your. I like to put it on my belly. It just helps you center, and all the nerves are, all your the bundle of the nerves are on your belly button. So this helps to kind of relax and charge up the whole body. You can put it on anywhere you have pain, or you can just put it on your desk in front of you. You don't even have to close your eyes because there's a lot of technology out there. You got to wear this thing on your head. You got to close your eyes and you got to lie down on the mat and you can't really do anything, right? But these ones are great because you can just put in your pocket because they're mobile and wireless. You put it in your pocket. You can go for a walk. You can go for a jog, bike ride. You can walk your dogs, wash your dishes, do some push-ups, meditate, whatever you want. And you're getting this constant stream of magnetic energy on the go, which is quite versatile.
I'm anxious to try it. That sounds really, really interesting.
So we're talking about all the health aspects, but there's another aspect of it, which I think, what we're more interested on this channel is the spiritual aspect. So when you are able to activate your chakras that way, right? For example, when you meditate Kundalini meditation, you want to activate your lower chakras and kind of build up the energy, right? So this actually does that. And a sixth thing that happened that I don't usually mention, but you guys will understand, it when people use the chi coils, is dreams become more lucid. Dream recall is enhanced, psychic abilities are enhanced, precognition is enhanced, telepathy is enhanced. So all those third eye or all those, so to speak, superhuman abilities are enhanced in the person. Is because we have frequencies for pineal gland that can directly stimulate and decalcify the pineal gland and open up the crown chakra. Like for example, this one I just playing, it opens up the crown chakra. You can feel it. I'll play it again. So. Like if you just listen to this, kind of see if you can feel where that energy is. There could be numbness, coolness, heat, tingly, magnetic energy, or heaviness. So all of the above. If you feel something like that, like try to scan your body and see where you can feel that energy.
Feeling it a little in my head.
Yeah, so most people can feel it around here, right?
Yeah.
Around like the eyes, the temples, and the back of the head here, and then kind of like in the top, and also in front of the eyes here. So, so all these frequencies have a different effect. So this one you can, it gives you that. It's kind of like an aura. It's kind of like this white aura that you can feel around your head. And it helps to remove that negative energy. That's exactly, it's like you have this halo, you're building this halo or resonating or holographically projecting this halo around you. And that helps to activate those higher senses.
Do you think we're being bombarded right now with negative frequencies?
Oh yeah, I think Bob can talk more about that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I find it fascinating. I guess before I answer that question, I was just wondering, David. So how similar is chi energy to I guess what like Reiki energy would be?
Right. So it's all different words for the same thing, right? So there's chi, prana, reiki, ki, subtle energy, pranic energy, 0 point energy, like torsion fields. There's so many words for it throughout the culture, throughout time. Like we all talk about the same thing. Okay, we're talking about a life force. We're talking about, and it could be manifest in different ways, right? So there's different kinds of frequencies. We know there's the ones I work with our coils is electromagnetic. So it's magnetic waves. Then there's sound, and there's light, and then there's heat, obviously. But then there's something called 0 point energy or chi energy, which is it's kind of like scalar waves. You probably heard of scalar waves, scalar energy. So it's not directly measured, but you can actually measure the effects of it. So for example, I have something called Chi Energy AI, and it uses scalar waves. And what it does is you can't measure it directly with a meter like this, right? You can't measure with the light meter. You can't measure with the EMF meter. You can't measure it with a sound meter, but you can measure the effects. So you can measure somebody's HRV, heart rate variability, and you can measure somebody's skin conductivity. So you can measure the effects it has on a human. So those are the different levels of chi energy. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, no, thanks for answering that. I just kind of wanted listeners to be able to hear that explanation, and because that's what I found. That energy that we can all tap into. It just people have different names and descriptions for it, depending on maybe religious beliefs or spiritual beliefs, but essentially it's the same energy that we can all tap into. And I mean, I
Right.
love what you're talking about. I mean, taking electromagnetism with those rife energies, or tapping into that chi energy, that's it's pretty amazing, that sound resonance. But what you were asking me about earlier, yeah, I mean, we're definitely being attacked on all fronts, and it seems as if everything is trying to lower our vibrational state. It makes human beings, it's a way of kind of controlling us because we're creative beings, and we have those creative abilities and healing abilities, and we can tap directly into that source energy. And so we're living in a world where there's people that want to control what we can do. They want to tamper or control those abilities, and the way that we can tap into those energies by calcifying our pineal gland, which was very interesting. You talked about how that can decalcify your pineal gland.
Mhm.
I know
Yeah.
on my page people are always asking how you do that, and
Mhm.
so I definitely want to give that a try and see what that can do. um, as there's the fluoride in our water, at least in most municipalities around the world, and definitely our vibration is being lowered, and from all sides, through our food, through
Yeah.
the stuff they put in the air, the water, what
Mhm.
we just take in, through mediums like the television, and computers and cell phones and all that stuff. So yeah,
Right.
definitely.
Yeah, it's getting nearly impossible for somebody to cleanse themselves or protect themselves from all this outside influence, right? Because it's just everywhere. Like our lifestyles, it's very difficult not to use a cell phone and not to use Wi-Fi. Like we're using the internet now, right? So there's these EMFs that we can't avoid to have a proper life. And like you said, like the food, it's getting harder and harder to source proper organic food, and it's getting more expensive. And with inflation, there's making it harder for people to get access to it, right? And yeah, I agree. And then with also with the media, with the emotional, psychological attacks as well, it just really drains somebody's life force. And it just reminds me of how it was when I was sick. Every day it was just a struggle just to get by, and you don't have energy to be creative, like you said, right? You don't have energy because you're so busy using up the energy just to survive, just to get through that day, or just to get through that day, because all the energy is going to deal with the pain and the depression and the anxiety and the brain fog. You can't even focus. So how can you be creative? So so one of my dreams is to just give people, empower them so that they can not have to suffer, and then give them that regular, just a normal human experience, which is just to have a clear mind, have a healthy body, being able to create things and to exercise the creativity and have the energy and focus and vision and motivation to carry out those things and to make them into reality and manifest them. Because many people have ideas, but not everybody has the energy and focus to make those ideas into reality. So one of my dreams is to help people, more and more people do that, and that's happening now, because people are using the frequencies, they're using the products, and they are getting out of that suffering mode and back into the normal mode. And then once they get back to normal mode, they say, whoa, I made it this far, why not take it further? Let's get into the super normal mode, which is like super intuition, super energy, super intelligence, super manifestation abilities, which our frequencies can also do. So you talked about the pineal gland. I'm actually going to play this pineal gland frequency. So we actually give away 7 of these frequencies for free. This is one of them. So this is the third eye opening pineal gland frequency.
Big time.
So how's the experience with that?
Wow. If you guys don't mind me commenting first, I almost felt like I was starting to like kind of look a little bit from more the outside in. It was kind of an odd experience, you know.
Yeah.
Wow, that was pretty amazing. I mean, right
Right.
away.
Wow.
Yeah, and we just played it for 20 seconds or 30 seconds there.
Right.
Wow.
You can feel or you can have the experience immediately.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Well, you mentioned it has sort of a halo effect, and that's where I felt it was like a band around here, and almost like like you said, a heaviness or a pressure in the forehead.
Mhm.
I've listened to some pineal gland frequencies before, and they always seem to affect me real strongly compared to others. And this one is probably the strongest so far.
Right.
Just that few seconds was enough I started wobbling a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it reminded me of when my wife would do chakra work, with Reiki, on my crown chakra.
Mhm.
It felt very similar to that,
Yeah.
and but it was pretty intense. I have to admit.
Yeah. And that's just 30 seconds. You can play this for like 30 minutes and just bathe in that and just imagine what you can do. And then also using the coils, because we haven't even introduced the coils yet. And these take all of our frequencies to even a higher level. So like if you read our reviews on our site, you can see like you can read some like very dramatic experiences and stories. Like for example, somebody who had this back injury for 30 years that was never healed, and he was relying on medication, pain medication every day. He used my coils, and in 90 days, just this small one, not even the big one, just the small one, and he had no more back pain. And he was walking normally without any pain. So there's this really dramatic stories of people who are able to overcome conditions that they've been dealing with for years, like decades, and being able to help those situations. And then as well as like many other spiritual or even like kind of more esoteric things that happen, like the ones you're experiencing. So yeah, I'm very excited about where this is going, because I think we're just getting started. So the two that you listen to, we call those higher quantum frequencies. And the reason we call them is because they're actually four-dimensional, which I'll explain briefly. So like, like 3-dimension is an object, right? Let's say a rectangle, like a cube, is a 3-dimensional. So 4-dimensional just simply means it's moving in space and time. So what we do is we actually model certain molecules and substances. So let's say we know the molecule for vitamin C, or whatever molecule we want. Let's say DMT, right? We actually have a DMT. So we know the molecular structure of dimethyltryptamine. Then what we'll do is put it into a computer software, and then we move it in space and time and make it 4-dimensional. Then we'll take out all those frequencies that are coming out from the computer software, and then we'll base our frequencies on that. And then we'll start building layers and layers of sounds on top of it. Actually, I'm going to play it for you later on. But those are higher quantum frequencies, but we also have the Rife frequencies. So we have something called the Rife console, and on here, people can search over 10,000 frequencies. These are the original Rife frequencies, as well as Rife frequencies that people have used over the last 80 years. So literally, if you have anything, let's say you want something for anxiety or something like that, you just type in anxiety, and there you go. There's five frequencies there for anxiety.
Wow.
And you just press play, and now you got therapy in seconds, right? You don't have to get a giant machine, like the old Rife machines. You got this giant machine, starts at $6,000, some are less, but anyway, and they take you a month to figure out how to operate them. You guys set like 10 settings before you can turn it on, and you got all these gas tubes. You got to plug in. Anyway, I was able to reinvent the whole Rife machine idea. So now you just plug it in. You just use our software. All the frequencies are in here. You plug it into a coil. You can use a speaker if you want, and there you go. You just turn it on, sit in front of it. That's all you have to do. It's complete line contact. There's no gas tubes. There's no moving parts. And it's super simple that anybody can set this up in 2 minutes and start getting the Rife therapy.
That is so cool. I'm like, what are the possibilities? Like, life changing.
The possibilities, we're looking at a bigger picture, is to use it in larger population areas. For example, there's a school that's planning to use our larger coils. That's actually 2 feet by 2 feet. It's about this big. Okay, it looks smaller, but when I go back there, it's going to be big. And these ones can cover 3,000 square feet because we pump a lot of power through them, and they're much bigger. And we can use the same frequencies through them. So we're putting them in classrooms because the teachers or the school board is telling us that the kids have no attention span. Like, we thought kids have very little attention span. Well, after the pandemic, it's even worse. So now they need something to help them focus, help them pay attention, help them do better in school. So we have frequencies that do that. We have frequencies that help stimulate the brain to help with focus and concentration. So they're going to do that. They're going to use it for a whole year and see what happens. But I'm pretty sure they're going to be amazed with the results. So I think looking into the future, when more and more people have these in their homes, just for personal use, eventually it's going to get into larger applications. Like, for example, like the schools, or even in offices or buildings, or churches, or we got lots of wellness centers already using ours, like retreat centers, meditation centers. We have lots of them using ours already. But to be eventually accepted, into the conventional use, to like to offer mass therapy, or just mass beneficial energy to lots of people at the same time. They could be used in concerts, for example. a concert or an event.
That's really cool. What does the crystal do for the chi coil exactly?
So the crystals are inside, right? So there's 3 crystals in here, and then on the bigger ones called the chi coil maxes, they have 6 crystals. Let me grab one. So these are the chi coil max, and these are 5 inches. You can see how much detail goes into creating one of these. So and they have 6 crystals inside, 6 points, like the flower of life. By the way, this is based on 5 ratio, right? You know, this toroid node design based on 5, 1.618. So what the crystals do, as I said, is when they're inside and the coils are on, they will get programmed with a certain resonance or frequency. Then it will keep that resonance for a day or 2. So you could unplug this. You don't even have to plug it in, and you can carry this with you or put it somewhere, and it will keep that resonance because the crystals are inside. That's how it works.
So it kind of charges up.
What else you can do with it? You can also, people really like to energize their water with it. So it'll take only 10 minutes. So you're playing a frequency through here, you put the water next to it, and in 10 minutes, the water is all energized. And it tastes amazing. And it's all restructured. It tastes really good, like really fresh. So there's just so much application. Mm-hmm.
I was just gonna say, there's so much that you've touched upon that we've had a lot of talks about. The power of sound resonance. That how they've changed our sound frequency, like when they tune music to, to the 440 hertz, away from the original 432 hertz, and I mean, just that little tweaking in that sound resonance, it can do so much. They tune that to do more damage to us, but finding those right healing frequencies, it's amazing what it can do for the body. If you think about it, we're made out of water. We've got actual crystals in our bodies. We've got all the elements of the earth in us, and they say even our DNA are like tubes. If you cut the DNA, and those tubes of our DNA actually resonate to a frequency. So it's pretty amazing when you really think about the power of sound, and coupling that with the magnetism too, electromagnetism. It's ingenious.
Yeah, they've done actually a lot of studies, and our DNA is hypersensitive to electromagnetic fields, and they can change the expression of the genes. They say that we can't change our genes, right? When we're born with it, then we have this blueprint and we can't change it, but we actually can. We actually can change the expression of those genes. And one of the ways to do it is through frequency and or even through intention, right? Because our DNA actually communicate to our body with electromagnetic information. So we're actually, when we're using electromagnetic devices, we're actually using the same language as our DNA. Is that interesting? So when we use the language of DNA, so we use the language of our DNA, we can tell the DNA what to do. We can reprogram ourselves. So that's pretty profound if you think about it.
I'm like, can you make me 10 years younger?
Probably, yeah. Like you can watch. There's these people on TikTok that are using my coils right now. Look at them 3 months ago before they had our coil, and look at them now. You can see the transition, their skin getting better, their complexion getting better, their face getting smoother and more toned. You can literally see it like right in front of you. If you just scroll through their feed, go back 3 months before they use the coil and go every day, see how they physically changed after using the coils. It's amazing. So yeah, you can literally look 10 years longer with this.
Over the last couple of years, I think a lot of people health has suffered. We've been locked up and cooped up, some worse than others, but a lot of us have been, living in a lot of fear and not eating properly, not getting exercise. I think people are getting out more, but I have to admit that, being locked up for so long, I got to the point where I don't even want to go out very much. I wouldn't say I was to the point of being agoraphobic, but I definitely didn't want to go to the grocery store. I didn't really want to go anywhere public. I just feel like my health has really declined and noticeably in the last 2 years. And I feel like, anything anybody can do to kind of like you said, just a little energy just to get you rolling forward would be so incredible, just to have that little extra push. And then once you start to feel better, and then all of a sudden the creativity starts. I think that is just so profound and exciting to hear. We're definitely interested in getting one for ourselves.
Yeah,
I'm all
I
about
can't wait for
it.
you to get. Can't wait for you to get it, and that's exactly what I think people need. I think you're right. A lot of people have been stuck at home, and they kind of their body has accustomed to it, to being at home all the time.
Yeah.
So there's less energy, there's less motivation, there's less outgoingness in general. Even people's personality may change because of it. But because we were designed as humans to move our bodies, we're supposed to move, we're supposed to get sunlight and get fresh air and fresh water and things like that in order to be healthy. So we're stuck at home, we're not going to get all those things that we naturally need. And you're right, we need that extra kick or that extra boost of energy that is natural, not like just caffeine, right? Like some source of real life force that can kind of get you that motivation, get you that positive attitude or the inspiration to start moving your body, start going out, start doing things, getting more sunshine, grounding, whatever things you need to do to connect with nature more. And this is it. Chi coils is the thing that you need, and that's what people need. And there's other things you can do, but these are the things that you can do without effort, right? Because it's the chicken and the egg dilemma, right? Okay, I want to exercise, but I'm too tired. But I need to
Exactly.
exercise so that I'm not tired, right?
Right.
But people can't get the ball rolling because they have to get over this chicken and egg. But what if we give you the energy without exercise, without effort? You just turn it on. Then you have this energy and you feel like you want to exercise. You feel like you want to go out. You feel like you want to do stuff. You feel like you want to create. That's how it should be, right? Because universe is infinite. We know the universe has infinite energy. You just have to know how to tap into it. So you have this infinite energy already inside of you. You have the potential for it, but you just need to know how to unlock it and just let it flow.
That's so
I,
cool.
I think that's so important in our modern society because I mean, I know I'm guilty of it sometimes, needing some caffeine to kind of get going for work or, to get the motivation to like maybe after work to get a project done I need to do. I think so many people rely on that stuff, coffee every morning or energy drinks, because everybody's so drained right now. Our society just, we're I mean, look at your work, when you work for somebody, you have your human resource manager, right? Well, who's the human resource? We are, so we're essentially the energy that they're using, to run their businesses with and to make their money. So, we're just like batteries, they drain us. And a lot of times most people don't get enough sleep at night. They don't eat healthy enough food to recharge yourself. And so it's like you're a half drained battery always trying to get through the day and trying to
Yeah.
accomplish stuff. And so I
Yeah.
find it fascinating that that's a better way to recharge ourselves, healthy without having to rely
Yeah.
on caffeine and things like that essentially are going to harm you in the long run.
Yeah. Somebody told me that our coils are like wireless chargers for the body. In our phones, when they are low on battery, they go into low power mode,
Yeah.
right? So they say that like a lot of people right now they're on low power mode, right? The screen's really dim and it operates really slow because it wants to save energy. It doesn't have enough. So So these are like wireless chargers for your body, literally, because it uses the same technology. Like you put the cell phone on the wireless charger, it uses induction, it uses a magnetic field to charge the battery without any wires or without any contact, right? Because you can actually lift the phone off the wireless charger about a millimeter or two, it's still going to charge. So it uses a magnetic field. So this is the same thing. It uses a magnetic field, but instead of charging phones, we're charging humans. So, and you can use it to charge your body to get more energy. So it's like
Wow.
you bring this to work. It's like you always have the phone plugged in. You don't need to charge it. You're plugged into the power supply all day.
That's so cool.
Yeah. I would just stay on the charger all the time.
Yeah.
Because well, you're talking about, lack of sleep and such. You start each day a little further behind each day, just from that little bit more running on low power mode until you're running on no power mode. And you're just kind of drifting.
What are some of your most favorite healing experiences that people have shared with you?
This is one girl, her name is Demisi. She's from LA and she has endometriosis.
Mhm.
So she was bedridden and she had like internal bleeding as well. And she had no energy. And it came to a point where she couldn't even have energy to lift the phone to call the doctor. That's how bad it was.
Oh,
So, and then she had this vision about seeing some kind of copper material. And then she's into Reiki. And then like the next day she saw a video about my chi coils. So she said, hey, I think this is what I was meant to get. So she got the chi coils and they started using them. And then the first day she used it, she could feel it helping. But then she kept on using it day after day, day after day. And then slowly she started getting out of bed. And then a few weeks later, she started calling her friends. And then a few weeks later after that, she started hanging around with friends and being normal like she used to be. And then I went down to LA for a conference and I met her. And then she gave me such a big hug and she would say, I'm so thankful, David. You saved my life. You changed my life. And that just really touched me and just realized how important that this thing is and how important that people get this. Is there's people out there who are, basically their lives are wasting away and they're just one frequency away from changing all of that. So that's why people tell people you're just one frequency away from changing whatever you want in your life. So that's one of my favorite stories.
That is just
That's really remarkable.
Well, it's like you know what you're here to do.
Yeah.
You were put here to help people. I mean, that's what a gift you are to everybody.
Yeah. He had his other birthday. Your first birthday is when you're born, and your second is when you realize what you're here to do. The two pivotal moments in your life.
Yeah, so I'm really excited. Like I know that I'm fulfilling my purpose now. It took me a while to figure it out, and there were a lot of challenges to get to this point. But I think we're at a place where we're just about to really kick it off and really explode. It's just because so many people are using the products and they're telling their friends, and we're getting on shows like this. So just spreading the word. It's just they like it, they use it, they're getting results. So they tell people. That's as simple as that. And now this what do you call it, critical mass starting to happen. So I'm pretty excited about that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
How does somebody find your chi coils? How do they look you up?
Right. So I have a link wall. It's called usetheqi.com. USETHEQI. Usetheqi.com. And then all my socials are there. And then I talk about these frequencies. You can actually download or you can sign up on my website, and you can get access to 7 of these free frequencies that you can use free of charge, no obligation, no nothing. Just put in your email. And also you can learn about my chi coils on there. I have a quantum healing service called Chi Energy AI, and then there's a whole bunch of other stuff on there too. So you can spend probably a day or maybe a few days looking through my world and kind of taking a deep dive there on usethechi.com. Oh, and I also have a book. Also, I wrote a book. It's called Life of Qi. It's on Amazon. Life of Qi. So just Life of QI, the science of life force. And I actually researched over 100 years of scientific experiments done to prove the existence of Qi. And you can see some pretty amazing stuff all around the world of what people have been able to discover about Qi energy.
So, I mean, to me, that would be a perfect tool for any energy healer to have. Imagine them being able to do work on somebody and to be able to, utilize that in their practice too.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. One main thing that energy healers tell me that is helpful is to keep them energized, because when they do the energy healing, a lot of times they drain themselves.
Yeah, it can be
So
taxing.
this can keep that plugged in, keep yourself plugged into the power supply, so that you don't get drained.
Yeah, definitely. My wife's a Reiki master, and that's something she's talked about in the past, that working on certain people that have like maybe a lot of negative energy or something. She said that if you don't protect yourself right, a lot of times you absorb that energy from them. And so it seems like something like that would be perfect, where it would be a great way to cleanse that, not just protect you from it, but, cleanse any residual energy maybe from somebody an energy healer worked on. Because
Yeah,
when you're two
definitely.
people or when you're working on somebody, those two energies are, gonna mix and match or mix and mash, regardless
Yeah.
of how much a energy healer tries to protect themselves from it.
hmm
It's
Yeah, we're all
interesting that
connected.
there's, yeah,
We're all connected.
that's cool. I like that there's a spiritual aspect too, that you can amplify your psychic abilities and the lucid dreaming. I mean, what couldn't you do in your dream? That's so cool. I don't know if
Yeah.
people practice lucid dreaming a lot, but
There are actually some people that do it. They do a lot of practice. But the natural ability also comes into play too. But some people can train it themselves to do lucid dreaming. There's certain practices and techniques you can use. Yeah. So if you're someone like that, you're listening, then this can help you. Help you do that.
that's amazing.
It's another thing I've dabbled in with limited success, but
Uh-huh.
I fail to have the discipline to keep pursuing it long enough to learn, to gain any level of mastery.
Have to check it out. Well, David, it's been a really interesting conversation today. I am definitely and personally interested in this product. I'm looking forward to the path back to wellness. I'm one of those people that are a low battery person, so yeah, I could use a jump start in my day for sure.
Mhm. Yeah,
Just
can't
wanna,
wait for you to start using it. Can't
yeah.
wait to help you on your healing journey.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Yeah.
joining us today.
Yeah, thank you, David. Just mind blowing. I guess that's about all I can say. Just absolutely mind blowing. I'm just, the wheels are turning in my head, and just the implications of
Yeah.
the device that you've made, and what that can do for people. I mean, essentially, if we can't help ourselves and heal ourselves, how are we going to help others?
True.
You got to,
Mhm.
start with yourself, and then from there, you can do a lot more for other people. So I think this can
Definitely.
empower a lot of people, to take care of themselves and to help others. So
Mhm. Yeah, so if you want to talk, we can continue this conversation on Instagram. Just go to usethechi.com and then just hit me on Instagram, and we can have a talk one-on-one.
That sounds amazing. Thank you, everybody. Look up David. I think he's going to change your life. Looking forward to finding out as soon as I get my my chi coil. Have to get that ordered. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks for
Bye.
having me. Nice to meet you
Yep.
guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.